Hey, hi, hello. So, alright, bear with me. I know I got an accent, and I know you probably don't want to hear a 16-year-old talking in an Indian accent, right? But hear me out. I'm sure you're gonna love what I have to say today. Ambition, goals, and struggles, right? That's probably what I title my video. So, hear me out. Damn this fucking hair. So, anyways, right. First of all, I'm Samay. You can call me Sam. That's what most people call me. But regardless, I am 16, going 17 soon, and I struggle with a lot of ambition. Seriously, like I have goals that most people will never even dream of, right? And some of them think they are not capable of that, right? I wanna, I'm a massive fan of Gauguin, right? And I've been seeing him for like years at this point, right? I think I started watching Goggins like when I was maybe in like ninth grade, right? And it's my final year of high school at this point. Regardless, I have too much ambition, and I realize how egoistic that sounds, how narcissistic that may sound. But seriously, I have too many goals, right? And please ignore the messy table, right? I was busy, right? Anyways, and I want to climb mountains. I want to climb K2 one day. I want to run an ultra marathon. I want to change people. I want to redefine what masculinity means to the world. I want to work against the battle for lust because that's what has plagued me for years at this point. And to be honest, I just feel so isolated, right? And I'm sure you can relate to that, you know. A lot of us very driven people, we are isolated most of the time. And to be honest, the ambition is something that people can detect, to be honest, right? I have heard from people that I feel different, right? Like I sit in my class and they say that I'm different. They feel that I'm different, and I feel that too. Like I feel like there's a barrier surrounding me from everyone else, right? It separates me from the rest of the class, and I know it's a very small circle. To be honest, a classroom it's a very small circle, but between all my friends and everyone that I know that I don't want to associate to or I want to associate to, they have all said this that I feel different. I feel different from others, and that's probably because I have a lot of ambition. Now, again, I know it sounds narcissistic. I know it sounds like I'm boasting about something, but seriously, I have too much ambition and goals that I don't even know how I'm gonna achieve, but I just know I have to achieve them. I wanna be well educated one day, but I have no interest in studies, at least not in the ways, not at least not in the systematic way that school teaches us to study. Right? I just don't want to jot down points and memorize them. I want to learn. I want to actually fucking learn. But it's like the system is so oppressive. I just don't know how to deal with it. You know, it's often why I skip school so many times, and I get in trouble for that. I know, but either way, it's something I do struggle with. Right? It's something I very much struggle with. But I realized something that I just gotta close my ears. Seriously, because like I can't be so hell bent on what others are thinking of me, right? I do have to do my own thing, you know? And basically, it's like, I'm going very off topic here, but seriously, it's like I have to close my ears. You know, I can't listen to what others say, what others tell me to do, what not to do, but either way, I have to keep moving forward. Anyways, like I wanna talk about mindset. You know, I wanna talk about how mindset works. I wanna talk about all the struggles I go through, and I know it's like I said, this is my first video, and I know this is very unsystematic. You know, but just bear with me here. Let me read you a quote from a book I read recently. Is success about learning or proving you are smart? Think about that. What does success mean to you? You know, I read this book and it's so fucking amazing how well it explains what the mindset of people is really is. What the mindset of people is like half the time. I mean, the book is named Mindset, that's quite obvious, but either way, there are two types of people in this world: learners and non learners. Not rich and poor, not weak and strong, but learners and non learners. Learners are willing to push themselves beyond what they are capable of, but non learners, they often dwell upon what they are already proficient on. That's at least what I notice. And like I was saying before, there are learners, there are non learners. There is not a weak person or strong person. There is not a smart person or a dumb person. But there are learners and not learners. It depends on what people are willing to do. Are they willing to push themselves beyond what they already know? That's what learners are. Are they satisfied with being what they already are? That's what non-learners are. Non-learners love to back away from challenges. They get that gut feeling. We all do, when we face something hard and we do not have the confidence to face it. But learners, they see a challenge, right? They see a challenge and they move forward. They move forward like it's the end of the world. They move forward until they finally crack the egg that's been bugging them, and I think that's the change you and me we need. We need to stop backing away from challenges. We need to stop letting people define what success is to us. Let me ask you this: how many times would you attempt something if you see that no one was there to judge you? Would you even attempt at all, or will you give it a Google of attempts? Again, the point is that we need to stretch our abilities. We need to stop thinking what others are going to. We need to stop thinking what others are going to say either way, because their opinion is irrelevant, right? They are not heading in the direction you are heading towards. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you are more ambitious than me, a lot more. And frankly, I think that what you can really benefit from is just deciding that there is no spectator here. It's only you. It's you versus you. That's what it's always been. It's you versus you. And the sooner you realize that the opinions of people do not matter when you leave them behind the finishing line, right? When you run past them and their voices just do not echo in your head anymore because they are so far behind you, because of the fact you tried a million fucking times. That's the point, That's the point. Work towards that point. Fail as many times as you need, and just give it your fucking all. Either way, anyways, my own struggle, right? What I often really struggle with is maintaining eye contact. I'm sure you have noticed that I stare at the mic or something else in my room more than I stare at the camera. But either way, I'm going to try my best. My own struggles really are just to deal with what I've talked about. I've been a porn addict for a long time, and frankly, I have no shame in admitting that. But I've also been fighting it a lot. My porn addiction was a very early exposure, and it's been hard battling that, but I still do. It's a never-ending battle. Every day I have the urge to relapse, but I don't. I fight it. Often, really, my struggle is with studying. I do not wish to study. I don't want to study, even though I like to study, but I still don't, because every time I open the book, it's so challenging. I just don't want to face the challenge. But it's also the fact that the more I tackle it, the easier it becomes. But I just don't move towards that position. I know my potential. I know that I can absolutely beat every single person I know in my class or my school or my state or whatever. But either way, I just don't push myself to that limit because I'm so scared of challenging myself. Even though I fail to realize that if I make as many mistakes as if I make as many mistakes as I can right now, I'm not gonna make either of them in my exams, right, in my finals. But I still back down. I am still scared because I'm afraid of people breaking through this facade of myself that I'm breaking through this facade that I've made of myself as a very intelligent person. Yeah, seriously, that's what people like to think, that I'm very proficient in a lot of things, but I'm not. I can be better. I'm just afraid to ask questions because that would mean I'm not as intelligent as everyone perceived me to. Another thing is this gut feeling. It comes up when I'm lifting, when I'm in the gym and I'm pushing farther than 5 pull-ups, and this feeling comes up in my gut. It's like I just don't want to continue. It's what I termed as a fail-safe. It's my heart saying that pushing farther means expecting failure. What if I fail? Right, what if I can't push more than 7 pull-ups and I fail at the 6th? So the heart thingy, that gut feeling, that thing I call the fail-safe, it comes at pull-up 5. My brain says to stop because going further means I can fail. The brain does not like that. Either way, I try my best to push ahead that. I try my best. But I'm sure most of you have already clicked off, because it's an Indian guy. I know how that feels, but if you're still here, I just want to say that you're all my girl bosses. Seriously, I'm a girl boss, you're my girl boss. But other than that, it's like we all have the capability to achieve the absolute impossible, but we back down because we are scared of the possibility of failure, not realizing that there is no success without failure. And that's an obvious quote, but it's so fucking deep when you really look at it for a hard time. But it's like, stare at it for a moment. Yeah, absolutely not. You're not gonna climb a mountain if you do not know how to even climb a hill, and if you don't tumble down a hill, you're not gonna learn how to stand back up. Anyways, that's what I had to say today, and I will see what the future holds for me. I'm most likely going to continue this series. I'm gonna add some numbers to it. I don't know. I don't know anything right now, but I just wanted to make this video. Bye bye.